Maggie to the rescue!
Hey everybody, Maggie's giving TLC to this adorable 1950s Saucy Walker doll by Ideal. Thank you, Maggie. You can have a seat down here. And she needs to be cleaned up and redressed, but she also needs a big repair. So I actually didn't know anything about these dolls. I just saw her face on eBay and just had to have her. But now I realize she was a very popular and much beloved doll, and she came in different sizes. I actually thought she was much smaller when I ordered her, but she's around 22 inches tall, quite big. But what I love is that she's the flirty eyes version. See her eyes going back and forth? And Ideal made several Walker dolls, not just Saucy Walker. So how they would work is the child would hold the doll by the arm and walk forward, and the doll's leg would move forward while the head would move from side to side. And you can see she had a voice box for crying. Mine doesn't work. So when I got her, she had this crack in her back, which was really disappointing. It wasn't disclosed in the listing, but maybe it happened in shipping. So today I'm going to get set up and attempt to repair the crack. I've never done this before, and I'm just going by my own logic, so we'll see if it works. I'm going to sand it with this Dremel. Then I'm going to patch it with Milliput. Then I'm going to paint it. So again, this is an experiment. If it doesn't work, then we'll learn together, but fingers crossed. So we live in an apartment without a yard, so I'll be taking precautions. I'll be sanding plastic, so I'll be wearing this 3M mask and sanding inside of a box. And since I'll be using Milliput, I'll be wearing gloves. I had a brother who passed away from leukemia that might have been related to toxins in his job, so I always take these precautions very seriously. Then afterwards, I'll clean up her hair, body, and put her new dress on. So I'm going to get set up and get started. Maggie, you need to be safe outside of the box. And I covered Saucy's face and hair with plastic. So I tried to push the plastic back into place with a rubber mallet for what seemed like hours. So I just gave up, and that's why I'm going to do the sand and fill. I have lots of attachments for the Dremel. So I chose a heavy grit sandpaper, that way I can smooth down the plastic, then fill with the Milliput and let that dry and sand that down with a finer grit so I can paint it. It's working much quicker and more effectively than I even imagined. So now I'm just wiping the plastic residue off with a baby wipe. Maggie's allowed back in. Milliput is a 2-part epoxy putty that dries hard, so you have to cut off and mix equal amounts. And you mix by kneading and rolling it together in your fingers for at least 7 minutes. It's a little tedious, but you can take a stroll or listen to a podcast while you do that. So I'm just trying to make sure it's getting in the cracks. It's supposed to take about 4 hours to dry. Now I'm just using a baby wipe to smooth down the edges. Hopefully that doesn't keep it from drying. I guess I'll find out. So it's drying hard now. I'm going to sand the Millie putt with my Dremel first, then switch to hand sanding. So I wanted to create more stability by not just putting the Millie putt in the crack itself, but spreading it out a bit too. Though I'm thinking maybe I should have squeezed some super glue in the crack first before adding the putty. I might try that next time. So it's still pretty rough. So the lower the grit number, the coarser the paper. So I want to start low and end up higher. I think I'm ready to start painting, but I'm going to put gesso on as a bit of a primer first. I have some craft acrylics, natural beige, sienna, and yellow ochre or oxide. So this is my first coat just to get some color down. I'm not super concerned with a match yet, just want to cover the white. So this color needs a touch of red, and it needs a little gloss medium for shine. I couldn't find my palette knife, so I'm using a plastic spoon, and it's working pretty well too. A little too pink. Adding some brown. It went on pretty well. And now I'm going to put a gloss coat on top since her plastic is shiny. When you apply gloss, be sure to smooth it out as well as you can. It can get a little lumpy or streaky. It's all dry. Pretty good. Definitely better than having a big crack. Again, I think it would have been even more stable if I'd put super glue or hot glue in the cracks first, but I'll do that next time. Her hair is such a mess. So it's a wig, so I gotta avoid putting water on the top of her head when I wash her hair because it'll melt the old glue. I got an eBay lot of dresses from that time period. So cute. Though these are all too small, but they might fit the 16-inch version. I just love them. And this one is the right size. I love the sheer inset with embroidery. I can't wait to see it on her. So I'm going to get her cleaned up and styled off camera. But I have lots of videos on styling dolls, so be sure to subscribe and check them out. So let's get ready for the reveal. First, let's take a look at her before. And here she is after. Doesn't she look cute? I can't believe how great this dress looks on her. I brushed her hair and then washed it. Her bangs were really long, so I rolled them up and pinned them. And I put blue bows in her hair. And I was surprised that I had a pair of shoes that fit her really well. And I wanted to show you these old bobby pins. So when you find these original pins in doll hair, do not pull them out. Grab them and open them up because they rust and pull the hair out if you don't bend them open. Her body was actually dirtier than I realized. There's still some stubborn spots that I need to work on, but I'm just thrilled to add her to my collection, and I'm glad she doesn't have that ugly crack now. Again, that was just my own DIY method, but it seems to have worked well. But next time, I'm going to use some hot glue or super glue between the crack first for extra stability. So if you have or had a Saucy Walker doll, please let us know. Be sure to like and subscribe for more rescues and show and tells to come. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Like and subscribe. Thank you.